Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm working on the 200 Type D again, the TRX Type 2. So if you have a Honda, you probably have these this style rear drum brake. I'm gonna try and get this focused. I know my work looks pretty terrible, but so anyway, this happens on the Cub Cadet disc brakes, the end of the lever that activates or pushes the pads together, actually wears around. And then on these guys, so I open up the brakes and it looks somewhat like this. See if I can put this cable through here. So it would have been bottoming out all the way. It would have been further forward than that even. So it was cammed right out. And if you look on the side here, we have a solid 1/8 of an inch of pad still left. So my goal is to get at least that amount. I want it worn out all the way. So I realized I need to add onto the cam. So I've added about 1/4 of an inch on either side. I just took a big piece of 1/4 inch thick flat steel and just started welding. And then I turned the welder all the way down to 1 and kind of built a row weld on top. That's why it looks so sketchy. But I chamfered the edges where the weld would meet and then just filled it right in. And it did a beautiful job. So I'm really happy with it. And the way it looks, I'm going to be able to... I did make a witness mark in here of all places with my utility blade, and I don't know, I think that'll do very well. So if you add on too much, so you can see down here it actually does push my retaining spring apart, but I'm able to actually go on all the way with the brake drum, so it's not too much. If you go too much here, it'll probably hit the inside of the drum. But if you were to go too much, if you were to add too much on, it would jam up. You wouldn't be able to put your brake drum back on. The other thing is, got a big puddle of mud on the floor, and that is because this whole area was full of mud. So I got a gallon of water and just kind of washed it off. So I was really surprised about the mud because I did leave the drain plug out because I thought it would drain, obviously, right? Get water in, drain water out, and then just ride on the brake a little till the drum gets warm and dries itself out. Well, I was wrong. What happened is we dragged it over some dirt, and just like that, the hole was plugged, and then the drum just filled right up with water because, like I've mentioned before in past videos, this is the wrong cover for this drum, and because of that I had to burn all the rubber out of the seal, so that's not sealed on there. I could probably do an old farmer's trick and give it a couple winds of electrical tape. Got to make sure that it's taped on so that the tail doesn't try and turn the other way and unwind itself, so which it will during reverse, but I don't really see that as a good solution. So, but anyway, guys, I guess there is really no solution except have the right brake drum cover with the correct seal and have all that sealed up tight, and then sometimes pull the drain plug and get the water back out. So I'm going to reassemble this. I'm pretty happy with what I've done here, and just a reminder that if your Honda doesn't break, check your cam. This cam was welded on before. Somebody tried to square up the shoulders, and it didn't work. I might have helped, but it didn't quite go far enough. So I went too far and then trimmed myself back to where this is the final product, and it should work all right. I could trim the bottom just a little bit more. So what happens basically is that it'll usually go so far and then kind of instead of camming out, it'll just jam up, which I think is okay. I think this will definitely get us to where we need to go. So let's slide this on and see, that'll get us to right there. So I'll be lucky to get the, it must be hanging up on the spring here. Yeah, so I'll be lucky to be able to get the nuts back on. But if not, I'll move it a couple teeth over and try again. And last time it took me probably a solid hour to get it on the right spline and get everything figured out. And then in the end, I ended up on the trail again, having to stack nuts and bolts and washers. Actually, that was the first time. The first time we rode, I ended up stacking a bunch of bolts and stuff behind the nuts because I got it on the wrong spline. And after that, I spent an hour messing with it just to get it correct. Also, what's going on here, main reason it's in here today, my brother-in-law was riding it yesterday. I think it was yesterday, or day before. Yeah, day before yesterday, Monday. And now the chain needs a smidge attention, and I sold the KOT 110A, and the guy came from North Carolina and brought me a tire and some other three-wheeler parts. So, and it's a almost new Trail Pro, so it'll match the rest of the old set. So I got the one old tire and the new one. So the reason I had a flat was I had a long pass load nail stuck right in the tire, so that's why I had a flat every time I tried to fix it. So we're back again. There's an inner tube inside, two old inner tubes that I cut open. Then there's a flat inner tube in there, and the last one finally worked. And that was a front Honda tire, front Honda inner tube. So, and the valve stem's badly cracked, so, running on borrowed time. My wife's cousin actually has a tire shop in the neighborhood, and he does stock some of the well, I bought his last one. I hope he restocks them anyway. So anyway, guys, so we're going back to the Trail Pro tires. This four-wheeler really likes the Trail Pros. They're nice and wide. What they allow us to do is basically when there's a ridge in the middle of the trail, like there is almost everywhere in all the ATV parks, is my narrower stance actually keeps me from falling in the ruts. It'll actually kind of try and mount the center hump of the trail. So they actually help me get in and out of a lot of places where this four-wheeler shouldn't be in. Even though these bar style tires did very, very nicely, they're mounted on backwards according to the directional arrow, but we farm boys know better. So I'm going to get this drum on, get all the stuff back on, tighten the chain, maybe give it a few pumps of grease. Try and put that drain plug back in, because I guess maybe we do need it after all. And guys, I think that's it. We'll throw these Trail Pros back on and be on our way. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry I made this video so long, and there you go. Now you know. See ya.